The fate of mifepristone, a medication used in more than half of U.S. abortions, still hangs in the balance. The high-stakes legal case to determine whether the pill should remain widely available nationwide is currently being reviewed in the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. During oral arguments last month, a panel of 3 conservative judges on the court pushed back on the safety of the drug. Now, regardless of what that ruling says, this case will most likely be headed back to the Supreme Court. But here are the facts. More than 100 medical studies have found that abortion pills are incredibly safe and effective. And research shows that more than 99% of patients who took the pills had no serious complications. So let's talk to someone who does know about the medication firsthand. When Sarah Drury found out that she was 9 weeks pregnant, she knew right away that she wanted an abortion. Suffering from anxiety her whole life, including in medical settings, Drury expressed that she, quote, was grateful to have the option to take the abortion pills, mifepristone and misoprostol, at home, a way to make this painful experience more bearable. Sarah Drury, who is the Deputy Communications Director for Congressman Ro Khanna, joins me now. Sarah, it's an honor to have you on the show. And, you know, look, when I wanted to have you here, I was thinking to myself, it's one thing to undergo an abortion and share that experience with close friends and family. It's another to share it with the world in such a public way, especially considering the job that you have. Why are you willing to do so now?
Absolutely. Thank you, Katie, so much for having me on and for lifting up these personal stories. I wanted to share it at work, especially because I work for Congressman Ro Khanna, who is a leader on this issue. And I was feeling so much shame after my abortion. And I wanted to do something to share my story and help others feel more comfortable and do something to tackle the stigma. And so I went to my coworkers, I went to my boss, and we had a really great positive conversation about it. And it just made me feel so much better. And I felt more at ease. And I was able to share this story with Elle Magazine. And since then, I've had so many messages from people who felt similarly, that they couldn't share, even people who are Democrats or feel like they have circles of people who are talking about this. They still personally feel a lot of stigma. So the story got really great responses. And I'm so glad that my office made space for me to share this personal story.
Sarah, you mentioned that you did write in Elle, and in that piece, you said that just day after day in your job, you watch Republican lawmakers with whom you share the hallways, and some of whom are colleagues for years, right? They're attacking abortion rights. You explain further that even lawmakers who support abortion only bring it up in policy settings, right? And they never discuss it on a personal impact level. How does this, the stuff that's happening in the hallways of power in D.C., where these laws are being made, how does this just add to the unjustified stigma and shame surrounding abortion? And what can we do to break that stigma?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I had my abortion just, 6 or 7 months after the Dobbs decision. And several months later, the Texas mifepristone ruling came out. And all of that really did wear down my mental health and made it much more difficult, I believe, to even talk about this for me and for many others. So the rhetoric has just been so destructive on a personal level to people, and it's just created this culture of fear. So I think that by speaking up and sharing these stories, we're going to combat a lot of the stigma and shame that people are experiencing.
And there's been progress in mental health awareness, but it still takes so much strength to speak openly about mental health issues, especially when it comes to the workplace, and especially when it implicates something that inexplicably carries such a stigma. So what is your message to others who want to speak up but are afraid to do so, and they frankly don't know where to turn?
Yeah, so I'm very lucky that my workplace was willing to have this conversation, because I did feel very isolated, and I know that it's scary to come forward with, anxiety or depression or whatever issue you're facing. But for me, I felt very alone in this situation. And I'm very glad that I opened up to others and leaned on others. And I think also that I was able to seek therapy and get support, mostly because my office is so flexible about mental health days and other policies. So I think that having those policies in place are extremely important in the workplace as well. But just keep having these conversations and don't be afraid to lean on people in your life. I'm really glad that I was able to do that.
Sarah, very quickly before I have to let you go, have you been treated differently in D.C., in the Capitol, since you've been there, since your stories come out?
I would say I've just gotten so many positive messages. I haven't gotten any negativity. And I was so surprised because I was expecting at least maybe people who disagree with me to maybe have negative responses, but everyone's just been so positive, and that makes me feel great. And I hope it encourages others to speak out as well.